Not too familiar. Yeah. Yeah.
Call meeting together for Thursday, September 14th. Janelle, please take the roll.
Councilmember Barker. Here. Councilmember Brown. Here. Councilmember Lowell.
Excused.
Councilmember Michelson.
Here.
Mayor Gibson.
Here. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got Nancy and Mike. She thought she could make it, but we'll see. Okay, we'll go to public comment on anything that's not on the agenda. Not on the agenda, seeing none. We'll go to approval of minutes.
I can explain.
Huh?
I can explain why they're not there.
Good luck.
I was all by myself last week. I didn't have any time. She got to go on vacation. The minutes are halfway done. They will be completed with the next set of minutes on the next meeting, you guys.
Yeah, we've been, so Gio was a few days off, of course Melanie's gone, so it's kind of slim around here. So we'll go to approval of bi-weekly claims. Gina got it to you, 18,584 through 18,592. So it's like 18,561 through 18,583, then the additions. So I got a motion.
I highlighted the new ones on.
Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve claims number 18561, 18584, 18585, all the way through 185, I believe it's 92.
Yep, that's correct. Do I have a second? Councilmember Barton.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any public comments on the claims? Seeing none, discussion, questions on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Barker. Aye. Councilmember Brown. Aye. And Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Wait for the airport report till we get to section C with Will. No building department finances here, so we'll start with the fire department.
I believe in your packet you have a copy of August run. We had 23 in the town, 38 in the rural, 2 mutual aids. 52 of those were medical responses. We had 10 fire calls and 1 vehicle crash. Which brings us up to a total of 457 for the year, which is about what we generally run. So at previous council meetings, you guys asked if I would bring our new members to council. So tonight we have Jesse Voss, who's a new member, and we also have Josh Brock back in the back there, who's a new member as well. We also have Erica Cochran, who's unable to attend tonight. She's a CNA over at the Living Center, who's working. So she's unable to be here tonight. But other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. A lot of medical calls and lift assists and helping out our community. So, any questions?
Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Quick little question. So what's that put you at for members on the fire department?
On the town roster, we're about 17, 18.
Looking to obviously up those.
Full roster would be 28.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we have room to be a full roster, but, you know, if we can get it, keep what we can.
Keep calling the TV station.
Okay, thank you.
Promote.
We'll do Public Works next, and we'll do MAC last, if that's okay. So do you have any questions of Mr. Cruz? Councilmember.
Thank you.
Thank you for cleaning up the curb line down there at Father River Valley Park. It looks 100% better.
It's not done yet.
But it looks 100% better right now.
Good, appreciate that.
Anything else for Mr. Chris? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Fire chief, no, police chief, Matt Marco, social.
I don't have your usual report. We had technical difficulties, but I'd like to address Mayor, Council, and the citizens. Thank you, Mayor, Council, previous Council, all of the citizens here at home, at work, and the panel that selected me to be your chief. It's been an honor and privilege. When I got here, we knocked on doors. We got feedback, we tried to listen. Most of the responses that I got was that you wanted your police department to be accessible, to be visible. You wanted an officer back in the schools, and you wanted us to serve. We've tried to do that. From a protection standpoint, we changed the concentration from just patrolling up and down Main Street and going to the bars. We started patrolling the neighborhood streets, the alleys. We stopped to talk to citizens, business owners, kids. We worked with the schools to get a resource officer back into the schools. We worked on diversion programs to alleviate the burden of the courts. Many cases this worked. Instead of placing a parent in a position to miss work, pay a child's fine, and possibly take food off the table as a result of missing work. We worked with victims and suspects to provide restitution either monetarily or through service as a diversion program. And again, in many cases, this worked, and we didn't see recidivism. We built working relationship with our law enforcement partners. We established that. Because of an accident involving Old Jim, we provided yellow flags at the crosswalks and added crosswalk signs at no cost to the town. Because of traffic congestion, we approached council and the mayor to ask MDT for a traffic study to be performed. We performed risk assessments and threat assessments at the schools because of just regular attendance, graduations, and the election cycles that occurred at the school. Because of these efforts, we were able to reduce crime and calls for service. As far as service, we brought National Night Out to Stevensville. We brought Shop with a Cop to Stevensville. We stopped people on traffic for obeying traffic laws and told them thank you while providing them with a gift card at no cost to the town. We did this to create positive interaction with law enforcement. We've given out candy at Halloween. We've given out coloring books. We've gotten dunked many times in the dunk tank. We've been creative and had a chili cook-off to interact with the community and raise funds to alleviate expenses in our budget. We've had a vehicle donated. We've gotten new radios for officers to provide better communication. We've gotten body cams for our officers. We've converted to a new report management system to be able to communicate and share with our county partners. We saved the town tens of thousands of dollars through donation and in-kind volunteer work that provided new office space and freed the town of a costly lease fee for our police space. We've done all of this together, not just me, but each and every officer, staff member, community member, all of the citizens of the town of Stevensville and the outlying areas that support us. So this was a group effort. This wasn't just about me. So I thank you for allowing me to serve, and we've done a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Access. Turn this culture around. Enhanced our relationships with the other law enforcement, the school, got the resource officers back. It's interesting, of course, we all know we went door to door when we first got here to ask for people's input. It's interesting, the things I hear, even from the people on the other side of the law, there's not many complaints about Mac. They respect him, they respect the other officers. With my background, over 45 years in Montana, head of juvenile corrections for the state superintendent of the juvenile correctional facility, parole, legislature, et cetera, et cetera. I've probably been responsible for over 250 employees and dealt with federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, county law enforcement, and the Justice Department. I can honestly say the Mac's in the top 2 that I've ever worked with. Thank you, Mac. With that, I'm going to do it again. We put together a little donation here. He's moving to Houston. He's getting older. Traffic is bad. So wave yourself. We'll go to number 7, Resolution 522, a resolution providing for the amendments to the budget for FY 2022-23. As you can see, and Gina could correct me, this is basically because of the increase in electricity for the lighting districts.
We need to do a public hearing first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any public comment? I was just trying to give a background, but we'll go ahead and have a motion.
No, it's
This is just a public hearing.
Public hearing, and then we get into the new business.
All right. So is there any comments?
No, go into new business.
So anyway, as I was saying, or we could do the motion now.
Okay,
Councilor Michaels.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 522, a resolution providing for the amendments of the budget for fiscal year 22-23.
Is there a second? Councilor Barton.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. As I was saying, it's a small increase. This is for audit purposes. It's basically, as we all know, our houses, our businesses, electricity's gone up. So we kind of underestimated. So that's basically what it is. Any other questions? Seeing none, Janelle, please take a vote.
Councilor Barker. Aye. Councilor Brown.
Aye.
Councilor Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Resolution to authorize cancellation of the town council general election for 2023. What this is basically is about is while unopposed, there were no write-in candidates. The clerk, so what this basically does is save the $900. In other words, not to have an election. There are no opponents, no write-ins, so it saves the town $800 to $1,000. So that's what it is. Any public comment? Seeing none, is there a motion? Councilor Michelson.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 523, a resolution to authorize the cancellation of the town council general election for 2023.
Okay. Is there a second? Councilor Brown.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilor Barker. Aye. Councilor Brown. Aye. Councilor Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Here we have the new airport manager here, Will. With the council's permission, I'm just going to turn it over to Will to give you an update. It's pretty amazing what he's accomplished in a short period of time. And Will, if you just want to come up and talk about what you're doing, what you plan to do, and how's it going.
Well, let's see, we had Will Rome taking over the airport manager's position. We had a vacancy there, sitting on the board. Kind of figured I could be better served in the manager's position than sitting on the board. So I coming in, talking with the mayor since that position was posted. Submitted a resignation letter from the board, then moved into this position. Sitting in those meetings, I've always seen some issues that were going on at the airport. I had ideas to fix them. They weren't happening, so we're just gonna make it happen. And I started in from the 1st of September. I immediately just went after the lease payments. We were having issues with finance. We were having a lot of issue with non-payments. We didn't have money, we couldn't get projects done. Sat in here three days or so, almost 4 days. Janelle helped me quite a bit with some stuff in there, going through those files. And we went back 2 years, a whole total. Between the 2 years of missed payments we've had from lease agreements up there is $25,572. It hasn't come in. There's a lot of paperwork issues. Previous airport manager, things that were going on before, things weren't billed correctly. We've since fixed those problems. Started drafting an email to get out to get the rest of the contact information so we can start sending bills and collect that money. We had some other issues at the airport with lights, windsocks, a lot of things we had to do to stay in compliance. We've got the lights, those will be coming. It's not something that we had to spend a bunch of money from the town or the airport to get it fixed. It's something the airport manager should be doing. It's not hard to change a light bulb. We contractor. The mowing was always an issue up there. The Stevensville Airport Foundation has been volunteering a lot of their time to mow. It's basically costing us fuel. We're not spending thousands on other people to come up here and mow. It's unneeded. The airport's actually looking really good with grass at this point from their efforts. And the AWAS systems, automated weather system that we've had at the airport, hasn't been working in years. You can't hear it on what's needed. That was one of the other things that I tackled just first. With any luck with some other agencies that have gotten involved with that, that should be fixed at no cost to the town. And if it all comes out the way I've geared it, we should be getting money back. So a little bit of what I've done in 14 days, just trying to dive in and make it happen. I'd like to see all the lease payments be in and we're caught up and whole by the end of October. There's going to be a little grace period. They have 30 days to pay from getting billed. So we've kind of backdated just to not pay the charges because they never got billed. So we'll work with them on that aspect. The year before, the 22-23 bill cycle, there's no grace period. They signed a lease. We're just going to collect the money. The airport needs it or it's going to go broke. So we'll fix it.
Okay. Thank you. I've been amazed in his knowledge and working for very little money. It's going to be a real breath of fresh air for the airport. So thank you, Will. That's it. Okay, we'll go to the consent to the mayor's appointment of Joshua W. Brock as a volunteer firefighter. I did his.
Here's yours, man.
Okay. Well, we just need a motion and then we'll introduce the volunteer firefighter. Councilmember Myers.
I make a motion to approve the consent, the mayor's appointment of Joshua W. Brock as a volunteer firefighter.
Councilmember Martin. Okay, we have a motion and a second. You want us to step up and introduce yourself, or you want to do that, Chief? Or you want to do-
Josh is next door doing truck checks right now, but Josh comes to us from Hawaii. He also is a certified fuel tank truck driver. That's his day job. He drives fuel trucks around town at night shift. So he comes with that cert. He's also certified in American Red Cross, the best first aid, CPR, a bunch of different things. He's very eager to get in, get involved, and go to work. Be a super candidate for us to have, and he's our banner on Main Street. So,
Thank you. So, we need a motion and a second. You did? Okay, any other discussion? You'll have to bear with me, this is one of my episode days. take the vote, Janelle, please.
Yes. Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown? Aye. And Councilmember Michelson?
Aye.
Okay, passes 3-0. We'll go to E, discussion decision to the mayor's appointment of Todd Schaefer as interim police chief. Just a little background. Mac and I interviewed Todd. We had community leaders interview Todd. Todd went to the police commission, and everyone was strongly in favor of him being the interim police chief. That, Councilmember Barker.
I'd like to make a motion to the consent of the mayor's appointment to Todd Schaefer as interim police chief.
Okay. Councilmember Brown.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any public comment?
Sean Will, 4324 Polly Lane, president of Stevensville Civic Club, as well as on the board for the Stevensville Scarecrow Festival. Just wanted to basically come and verbalize an endorsement from the Civic Club as well as Scarecrow Festival. I've had the unique opportunity of, with all four of the major events that take place in Stevensville, working with Todd very, very closely. Matt has some pretty big shoes to fill. I think Todd is going to be able to fill those very well. He's been very professional, very courteous, but he's also very personable. Also got a chance to watch him at the school one time in his duties as the SRO. I know my kids love him. Kids at the skate park seem to really like him as well. So I think he'll do a great job for us as police chief, and hopefully it'll only be interim temporarily. That's it.
Thank you. Any other? Ty, you want to give up your speech or something? Dan?
I plan a speech and I can't really follow up that guy back there, but all I'll say is it's been an honor and a pleasure. But I also want to say he wasn't alone for the last 2 years. I only missed out a few months, and every decision that he's made has been a joint effort. So don't expect any changes. Everything he's chosen was something that I agreed with and I moved forward with. So police department will function as you have seen.
Thank you, Todd. Any further discussion? Councilmember Michelson.
I'd like to say that Todd and I met many times on my walks. We got good discussions. Sometimes it's business, most of the time it's just a pleasure. But I'm looking forward to working with you, Todd, because I'll be here a while, so thank you.
Okay. Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown? Aye. And Councilmember Michelson?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. There will be a swearing in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Todd. Okay. Discussion decision to allow hookups for water and sewer services from the town of Stevensville for 2 additional dwelling units.
I have Kelly Arnold via email at the moment, sir, with Valley County Public Health. So at any time, I do have a phone number to call her in on. I'll let her know if she wants to speak. We'll have to take a second, everyone, and then call her. Okay?
And in your packet, you have quite a bit of background of this. You have comments, the letter from Mr. Reeves and the comments from the county. It's pretty self-explanatory. So with that, is there any public comment? I don't see Mr. Reeves here. He knew about the meeting. So I guess I will ask the council how they wish to proceed. We can start with a motion in a second and then have the discussion. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to allow hookups to water and sewer services from the town of Stevensville for 2 additional dwelling units for Mr. Jesse Reeves.
Okay, Councilmember Barker.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. I'm sure we're going to have some discussion. So whoever wants to start. Councilmember Michelson.
Reviewing the minutes, I've been through this as you too, Mr. Mayor. This started in 19. It came before the council. They wanted to, first I believe the town wanted to buy that property, and and the town didn't do it, then Mr. Reeves, correct? He decided to come forward and purchase the properties, and then he wanted to be annexed, and then put it off, and then 20 came back forward again, and then we didn't allow it, I was on the council then, but we did allow him to do a water and sewer hookup there. And I was under the understanding then that it was just for one, it wasn't for three. So-
Yeah, it was. It was just for one.
Correct, yes, and now all of a sudden it's morphed into three. I have issues with the groundwater, the gray water there. I was out there today and I walked around that pond and I see big equipment and other pieces of machinery there with oil that's on the ground. And it just doesn't seem to me that it was well taken care of. And I remember specifically when I was on the council, questions were asked on groundwater, the oil and everything that would be leaking around there. And he assured the town that it wasn't gonna happen. He was gonna take good care of it. If he was here, I would say the same thing. My estimation, Mr. Reeves didn't take very good care for the town. So,
Councilmember.
My question is, has the town been out there to inspect what's been going on?
You asking me? We have not.
And again, it's not the town, it's the county,
Yeah,
and
it's-
you can see it. And there was a mention that he wanted to build 2 cabins, those cabins were built over a year ago. It's in the county, it's not annexed yet. The complaint came from a resident someplace to the county, and the county followed through with the way they count. So it's not ours.
I was just wondering if we've been out there to inspect anything with the construction of the water line or anything that's
I
went
think-
on.
Yeah, I think the reason not is the county expected it heavily. Found the issue with the gray water after they received the complaint. And they had a hearing. They were supposed to have one yesterday. I don't know if it was canceled. I wasn't able to listen to it. But again, it's in the county. And, you know, whether it's Mr. Reeves or anybody else, since I've been here, we've had numerous requests outside the town limits. Don't want to be annexed in, but we want sewer. Because when these septics fail, I don't know if they're going to get a septic. But this would set a precedent, in my mind, that could go beyond an individual. We've got the capacity issues, we've got the water rights issue. I could go on and on. This is nothing against an individual, but in my personal opinion, it's up to you. Councilmember Miles.
I would agree with you, Mr. Mayor. I believe it sets a precedence that the town of Stephenville doesn't have to. For whatever reason, we don't have to keep granting this. And if we did, and like you just said, down the road, somebody else could say, well, you know, you gave it to Mr. Reeves, why can't you give it to me? Well, you know, I think I'll get an attorney. So I think it opens a can of worms, and I think I could support it.
Okay. I think with that, unless somebody else has another comment, Councilmember Parker.
I have to agree with, what Mr. Michelson has said too, is that we have had several people come, but yet we haven't even finished building what is behind Twin Creeks yet, and we're still dealing with that, and then the surrounding areas there. I see if we were to go in and supply a line, we're bailing him out of something that he's got himself into a mess on. And I don't think that's fair to us.
Okay. With that, Janelle, please take the vote. This is a motion to approve the hookup. Please take the vote.
Yes. Councilmember Barker?
No.
Councilmember Brown?
No.
Councilmember Michelson?
No,
Fails 3-0. Okay. We'll go to Town of Stevensville, regular town council meetings to be moved from 6 back to 7 p.m. Councilman Love.
I would like to make a motion to move the town of Stevensville's regular town council meetings to be moved from 6 o'clock to 7 p.m.
Councilmember Michaels.
I second that.
A motion is second. Any public comment?
Vicky Motley, 318 9th Street. I think that's wonderful. I would agree to bring it back to 7.
I just have a few things to say, and it's your decision. Since it started, we went through the process twice. Out of 2,200 people who live here, I've had 2 complaints about this time change. Mr. Michelson was with me. I went to a county commissioners meeting some time ago. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. I think there was probably 15, 20 people from Stevensville there. No time is ideal, but also, as we sit here right now, there are other citizens in this town working in grocery stores, working in restaurants, working in gas stations, et cetera, et cetera. There's never a perfect time. But most importantly, in my mind, it's about budget, it's about staff, and it's about efficiency. We have a situation right now where currently we have to leave the office open until 5. A couple of times we've had to close at 4. Somebody complained about that. It's up to you. And I'm not gonna be here that much longer. It's not for me. But it's a consideration of the staff, overtime. Today, these 2 people were here before 8 o'clock. And we're here until 5, till 6, till this is over. So there'll just be more downtime. And these people don't live in town. So to make them go home, clock out, drive home, drive back. And frankly, in certain things, when these meetings were at 7, it was mostly the same people that came at 7 and come at 6. It's your decision. I just don't think it's efficient use of staff time or budget. I'm done. Any further discussion?
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
I guess I would ask the girls what they want to do, because wintertime, Leslie had a 509 Mission Street, I'm sorry. I would ask them, with the roads getting bad now, it's getting to be winter, these girls still want to go clear home and have to turn around and come back. You know, I would worry about them being on the road. Does anybody ask them what they want to do?
Are you comfortable, counsel, with Janelle and making comments at the podium, not from?
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
You know, I just.
We understand.
I just.
I think it's a good idea, but again, I'll leave it up to you. Is it, Janelle, would you like to make a comment?
If it's okay with the council, that's up to them. If they want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Janelle Berthoud, Town Clerk. Meeting times, yes, they are only twice a month. But when we've already had a long week, or only 2 of us here, or sometimes only 1 of us here, the idea of getting off and being done at 5, having to clock out because of budget restraints, staff issues, all of those things combined, then having to be back here by 5:30 to open up for a 6 o'clock meeting, or if it's a 7 o'clock meeting, need to be back here by at least 6:15, clock back in, to open up town hall. Winter, I appreciate you thinking of us in that sense. Any of us really care to drive on any of these roads in the wintertime, especially as it gets dark earlier. For me, I greatly appreciate when you, the council, passed the resolution for meetings to be at 6 p.m. It gives us here at Town Hall an opportunity to get a few things wrapped up and then get ready to put together a meeting that, having Town Hall open by 5:15, 5:30 is usually pretty normal, to allow people to come in and get ready to attend one of our meetings. So I greatly appreciate it being at 6 o'clock. But of course, it's up to
Thank you. Gina?
Gina Crowe, the finance officer here at the town. Thank you, Mrs. Tevick, for bringing that up. I really appreciate it. I really love working here. It's very challenging, and I found it very rewarding. I know that I live in town, and I had to go home, but I also have a lot of responsibilities outside of home. I've got lots of animals that I have to take care of. I don't know. I know that everybody kind of gets off and they have to do their own things, but what if you move the meeting to 5:30 instead of 6? Because I know when people get off, when you get home, you have to make dinner, right? I've got to make dinner when I get home and clean up and then have to come back. I mean, I don't know. I just know that that would be an option. I would like to keep it at 6 if we can. It's easier on both Jen and I, because we do spend a lot of time here trying to make sure that we get things done, to make sure that we're representing the town like we should. So that would be my 2 cents on that.
Thank you. I forgot, I did go through the League of Town book some time ago. About 45% of them meet before 7 o'clock. Different times, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30. Councilmember Brown.
I would like to make a comment. If you move the meetings to 5:30, I know we are a bedroom community. A lot of us travel either from Hamilton or Missoula back. 5:30, I get back to my house at 5:23 just about every night from work.
I would agree with that. I think that their point was is to leave it at 6.
So
Councilmember Brown.
I guess the reason why I brought this agenda item forward was that there are people, yes, that are here every time, but there's also members outside the community that have asked to have it changed. And that's one of the reasons that I brought it back up to it. It's not just to suit us here as a council or the community, it's to come to a conclusion together. Yes, we all work busy jobs. Yes, there are people that work up until 6 o'clock or whenever you can't get here. I understand with the staffing, and you are here long hours. I work long hours at my work as well. So it's to come together and figure out what would work for everybody, I guess I would say.
And I would agree, again, as I said, from our side, I only heard 2 people about the change. That's all I. But anyway, it's up to you. So with that, unless there's further discussion, Councilmember Michelson.
What if we met in the middle and made an amended motion and did it at 6:30? Is that too late? And that way, it would give the public more time to get here. And yes, it would take a half hour from your guys' time, but it wouldn't be at 7. And that way, both sides could come to agreement where we meet in the middle. Would that work?
It's up to you if you want to make an amendment. I think the people who work here made it, they'd like it at 6, but yeah, you can make, it's up to you. Councilmember Michael.
I make a motion to amend the motion, to amend it to change the meeting time to 6:30.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to change it to 6:30. So is there any further discussion on that? So we're going to vote on the amendment to move it to 7, to move it to 6:30. Okay? Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilor Michelson?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay. So board reports, I think the only one we have is airport. Did you have a meeting?
Yes, we did have a meeting on Tuesday night.
We still had a motion on the first,
Oh, well, amended, yeah, okay.
we did
so we'll go
amend
back
it,
to
but we
that.
still
Okay,
had a
fine.
motion on the first.
So,
Okay.
as amended, we have a motion, now is amended to change it to 6:30.
Correct, you guys voted on that.
Yeah, we voted on that.
Voted on the amendment.
You voted on
The
the
amendment, so we
We
did
didn't
not
vote on the
vote
original.
Yeah,
You had a motion and a second
Yes,
for your 6 PM to 7 PM.
correct.
Councilor Michelson made a motion to amend that. So we need to go back and we can vote on your first motion and second.
Yes.
So if you want to call for that.
Sure.
Call for the
I'll
vote.
call for that.
So, voting on your first amendment, or excuse me, your first approval and second, which was 6 PM to 7 PM. Councilor Barker?
No.
Councilor Brown?
No.
Councilor Michelson?
Okay, passes 3-0. Okay. We're good? Okay. Board report.
Airport board. The, you introduced, the new airport manager, Will Rowe. Thank you, Will, for stepping up and taking that position. He's working hard at this, new position. He's more or less gave the report, lights on the runway, the windsock. They are going to try to put together a conference call with FAA for a gravel pit. They're still trying to decide if they want to move forward with that. The Stevensville Airport Foundation people, they do have an airport lounge up and running. They are also looking into the difference between an airport authority and an airport board. They are working on gathering that information. They did get the grant for the airport car, so now they're working on figuring out what way to make an airport car. And then also on one of the claims about the radio that was ordered, the radio has been returned and it is with the airport.
Thank you. Okay, that's the only board I believe that met. I think you meet next.
We meet next Tuesday at 6:30.
Council comment? Councilor Mike?
I'd just like to, since Mr. here, Mr. Cruz, the fall leave curbside pickup, it would be nice if that was brought back in. I know it was this spring, it was a good success, so if we could continue into the fall, that would be great.
Yeah, that's the intent.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
So, the executive report. As you can see tonight, it wasn't a good day. Comes and goes. There's a lot of rumors about when I'm leaving. My intent is to get through the budget. I don't feel it's fair to leave you or the staff. We've met with the department heads once. We're going to meet with them Monday to finalize their budgets before we present it to you. Our goal is to possibly have a town hall special meeting, preliminary budget, either 21st or 22nd.
The county.
Budget 28th. And if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. It'd be nice to get it done by the 30th. But if we don't, you know, they won't take away your birthday. So my intent in October, at the latest, my 72nd birthday in November. So that, I'm still working with doctors. You okay? If you see me go too far astray, let me know. We're adjourned.
Yes.